Launch is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. October 28th to November 15th, level up during the Modern Warfare 2 preseason. So this, of course, is going to be once the actual Modern Warfare 2 is released on October 28th. The game is going to be out. You could start grinding the weapons for the launch of Warzone 2, start learning the maps in Ground War. This is mostly what I'm going to be personally doing. November 16th, Season 1 drops, including Warzone 2 with DMZ and Battle Royale modes, plus returning Modern Warfare 2 fan favorite map and Spec Ops updates. What does this mean? A returning Modern Warfare 2 fan favorite map. So maybe they'll put Terminal or something in the game, or, you know, whatever is not at launch. I guess Terminal's already in the game in the Warzone 2 map. But then December 14th, all new mode raids launches. They talked about this during the COD Next event. I didn't exactly even know what they were talking about. It seemed like raids were kind of more a team-based. I thought that's what even DMZ, maybe they were going to rename it to that. DMZ is an extraction-based mode, so you kind of go in with a squad, you fight other players. There's also AI on the map, you kill them, and then at any point you extract from the game. At least that's kind of the theory of it, of extraction-based game modes, fighting other players and the environment to get a come-up and extract out of the map with your come-up. So this is a bit of the actual roadmap here. But I like that. Plenty of things off the launch. Spend less time at launch downloading, more time playing. Modern Warfare 2 preload details are here. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be preloading. Of course, you can preload really early because this is going to be for the actual campaign that's coming out. All of these being the 19th. Of course, the game coming out on the 20th. Campaign early access goes live on the 20th with the download the day before that. Full game preload is also going to be available the 20th, 19th, 26th, but it's not out until the 28th anyways. Full game release, technically, I guess, midnight, right? Like 4 a.m. Pacific on the 27th. Wow, so it's even technically kind of the day before the 28th is when it was supposed to launch, but I guess it depends on which region you're in, even the regional rollouts for Xbox, but it's going to be out, it seems like everywhere, 9 p.m. Pacific. So you could play it a little bit early if you're on PlayStation and Xbox. You'll be playing the full release a little bit early, depending on the region that you are in, whereas it's just going to roll out worldwide, I guess, Pacific time, 9 p.m. Pacific on the 27th, which is going to be midnight on the East Coast. Okay? The other piece of information we got is gather all your COD Modern Warfare intel launch for the blog post here. Let's see what they've got. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 launch. Everything you need to know before the new era begins with campaign early access, that being on the 20th. Welcome to the new era of Call of Duty. Oh, shoot. Here we go. October 20th, anyone who digitally pre-ordered or purchased Modern Warfare 2 gets early access to the campaign up to 1 week before the game's official launch. Now, we have to see, we've known this for a while, but that is where we are at. The early access period marks the end of a 141-day journey since the game's reveal announcement on June 2nd, one that featured plenty of intel. First, we were introduced to the Task Force 141, taking a dive into the global campaign. We saw a little bit of a teaser of that campaign with that water mission. You saw the boats. That was the first time we saw there's actually going to be water in the game. Now we know you can even go into the water. You can use your pistol in water. You can shoot out of the water, not necessarily like in it, but you can come up to the top, pull your gun out, go for some shots. They've really worked on a lot of the mechanics for it. Through multiple intel drops, lead developer Infinity Ward explained key development concepts across Modern Warfare 2, including its new gunsmith. This is a new unlocking system that they have, as well as a new attachment system. They're going to have 5 attachments on the gun, more similar to classic Modern Warfare 2019. Call of Duty next released a wealth of intel, among other announcements.
Keep up the good work.
We saw the game's innovative multiplayer in action. You know, it's classic Call of Duty. I think at this point, if you've played the last 10 of them like myself, or even 15, whatever, you know, it's Call of Duty, baby. We know where we know what we're getting to a degree at this point. And it hinted at the evolved Spec Ops, which could be cool, man. I mean, we just went recently back and played the 2019 Spec Ops missions, the co-op stuff. It was pretty cool. You know, it's not necessarily my per se cup of tea, but if you want to bring the more casual player base into the game, you need to have stuff that is accessible and fun to them. Hence, a really fun, compelling campaign, which I think Call of Duty always does a really fun, good job of. Co-op missions are very cool for that, especially if you guys played the classic Modern Warfare 2, like co-op missions, or even those missions that you could do, where, you know, some of them were very memorable, very fun. I've even seen my buddy Tom McGrath go back, do some videos on some of those. It's been really cool if you haven't checked them out. Really dope. Even went further into Call of Duty Warzone 2.0. We got to see some gameplay of that. I got to play some of it, talked about some of my thoughts on it with a video as well. If you guys missed that one, highly recommend. But it's a game that shares the same engine and locations as Modern Warfare 2. This is a really big point. All of this has been updated. All of this has been reset into a completely new, experience that is now tied into each other between these two games. Whereas we didn't have that with the last like Cold War, Vanguard. They did do some improvements, but they had to bring all the old stuff into it. That's why we saw all those polygon glitches and so many different things go wrong with those integrations. The hope is that they do a more foundational, a better improvement on the foundational level of this game to where it kind of expands off into the future of where they can go. Then we had the largest beta in Call of Duty history. Talked about some of the details in my, state of first-person shooter games about that, talking about some of Halo, Battlefield, and some of these other things that have come out, what I'm looking forward to in the future. Obviously, this game being a big one of them, but giving an early preview for Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer to more community members than ever before. There's definitely a lot there. This announcement is the final piece of intel before your hands-on introduction to Call of Duty's new era with Modern Warfare 2 campaign early access, and with it begins the exciting 2 months of content through the start of Season 1 and the release of Call of Duty Warzone 2. So we went through all of the timeline there in general through the chart they gave us. Here's an actual great picture for it too, if this helps you in terms of what the release date is for the actual multiplayer version of the game. Again, it depends a little bit on the platform that you are on. And then let's see if they have any other details of what's going to be happening here. See above map for timing. This is for the pre-download. Preseason beginning for Warzone 2's preseason, that is. And this is on the official Call of Duty website, not Ravensoft here, which, I'm not 100% sure who's going to be maintaining Warzone 2 as we go into that. But we'll dive deeper into that as we learn more about it and read these posts from them as well. November 16th, this is going to be the launch day for Warzone 2, but this is the key thing here. DMZ and Battle Royale modes launch alongside Modern Warfare 2 Season 1. So they are going to be waiting to launch DMZ, and I'm curious if that is part of the free content. In addition to a host of other content, a returning fan-favorite multiplayer map they're going to throw in with it as well. We read that. And additional Spec Ops missions are going to arrive at that same time. This is going to be for the kickoff of the first season. All players can drop into the all-new Al-Mazrah map. This is what we saw a little bit in that Warzone 2 preview, as well as the ground war, if you guys played any of that during the beta. As part of Call of Duty's Warzone 2, survive a brand new experience, which is DMZ. All they have said about this is they have confirmed what DMZ is. We saw a lot of leaks of this. Again, it's this extraction-based shooter game. And enjoy a new Battle Pass system, 2 free functional weapons. Volt Edition owners can activate their free season Battle Pass, as well as 50 tier skips as well. So this has been their structure for pretty much every update for Warzone, especially if you guys have kept playing this game as well. Every new season, they drop 2 new guns. Sometimes it's even more. Sometimes they have a mid-season, like a melee weapon or something they throw in, the nail gun or something crazy with it. But this is interesting to see DMZ as part of it. What I'm not sure is DMZ going to be part of Warzone, where it is a free-to-play thing, or is it going to be part of Call of Duty multiplayer that you are still going to have to purchase in order to play? And this is just all packaged in because, we're going to get Season 1 updates to the multiplayer side too. You're still going to have to pay to play the multiplayer campaign, co-op, all of those things, which they are kind of integrating some of those together here. I'm not 100% sure from everything I've read from them directly so far. Season 1 reintroduced raids as well, or introduces raids. This is something we've only heard them briefly talk about, but Spec Ops Missions receives the very first episode of raids for operators to master. Okay, so this actually gives me even more clarity, I think, on what this is. It is going to be a Spec Ops mission co-op multiplayer experience, the raids, more so than a PvP experience, is how I understand this. Plus, another level of legendary multiplayer maps come to Modern Warfare 2. Love that. And Call of Duty Warzone 2, its first post-launch update, is going to be December 14th. So a little bit less than a month after, we're going to get the first Warzone 2 update as well, which, hopefully is good. Week 0 early access overview available for digital pre-purchase for the campaign. An immersive introduction to Modern Warfare 2. Take the full early access period to learn about the Task Force 141, its ties to the Mexican Special Forces, and the overall foundational narrative to the next chapter of Modern Warfare's full universe. Interesting how they kind of state it there. A head start on earning campaign completion unlocks the Union Guard weapon blueprint for base operators, cosmetic items for multiplayer Spec Ops and Warzone 2 just by completing the campaign. That's kind of cool too. Assuming obviously what it is, but you get unlocks for completing it that you can use for your operators and for the regular game as well. Plus, get extra time to achieve platform-specific accolades. I don't think you're going to be able to unlock anything for multiplayer or for even Warzone 2 during the campaign, but I could be wrong. They could make it so, like, let's say you pick up this MP7 or whatever gun in the campaign, the kills that you get against the AI, maybe it doesn't give you as much XP, but it might still give you a couple things to unlock towards that progression for it. I don't know. They didn't specify any of it here, so I would doubt it, but I wouldn't be surprised. We'll keep an eye out for that as well. So then when it actually comes to the campaign is an indirect continuation of Modern Warfare 2019 story, picking up 3 years after Task Force 141's original formation. Under the supervision of Station Chief Kate Laswell, Captain John Price creates the International Special Operatives Group with 2 hand-picked selections from his storied military history, John Soap McIntyvish and Simon Ghost Riley, and Kyle Gaz-Garrick, the former Special Air Service Sergeant who worked alongside Price during the events of Modern Warfare. Over the next 36 months, Task Force 141 goes dark to perform classified missions around the globe leading up to the beginning of Modern Warfare 2's story. When the United States airstrike kills a foreign general, his next line of work vows revenge, partnering with an international drug cartel to transport stolen U.S. ballistics missiles. Damn, dude. All right, well, you know what? I'm going to leave the rest of it so we can just experience it in the actual campaign. I don't want to read through too much of that in general. Plus, my reading for some of these stories is not going to be the best for you anyways. But we'll go through some of that. Here's the actual campaign rewards as well. So, I mean, these are kind of cool. This guy is looking pretty badass, I will say. The M4 skin or whatever that is not too bad. I always love a good M4 skin, no problem there. The Modern Warfare 2 campaign offers completion rewards for the others, all the calling cards, double XPs as well. That's kind of cool. I also did see that if you get some Mountain Dew and Doritos, I think it was just Mountain Dew, but usually it's Mountain Dew and Doritos, they do give you double XP codes. There are some on there. So, by the way, if any of you guys do get some, you don't happen to actually play the game, but you just watch some of my content or whatever, you got some double XP codes, hop over on my Discord, send it to one of my mods or whatever. We'll get it into our system here. I'll get some more unlocks going ASAP. All right. Plus, you can use the early access period to knock out most of the platform-specific accolades, which are equal part points and pride for practice in other modes. One of these challenges include competing campaign on the hardest difficulty setting, veteran and realism. The latter turned off all HUD, lower health for... Okay, that's kind of sick. I like that. They're making like some good fun stuff for the actual campaign as well in terms of, like what you used to get from Halo, where, at least for me, I would go through, play the game on Legendary. You get some skulls, make it on a harder difficulty, stuff like that, and you can still get a win with it. Okay, multiplayer and Spec Ops overview. Now, we've already seen a lot of the multiplayer, but I don't know if there's any new information we could pull out of this. That's really what I'm looking for. Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer defines emergent gameplay with a focus on variety. Those who played the beta already got a glimpse at some of the modes and scale. On day one, there's going to be 12 unique modes, 10 additional modes in the core map, and 2 ground war modes on the battle maps. That's actually a good thing to know. These are called battle maps. These maps are grouped into one of 3 regional categories. One multiplayer map within Al Mazrah is Al Bagra Fortress, located on the southern shore of the region. I'm pretty sure we played this. I think it was A objective on the big ground war map, if I'm not mistaken. Probably am, but that's fine. Al Mazrah, the metropolitan area and its outskirts within the region, the Republic of Adal, serves as the main region for Call of Duty Warzone 2. Several core and battle maps will be based in this region, making multiplayer a phenomenal experience to learn some of the points of interest and detail. This is exactly what I've been telling you guys and why I will be playing these ones and studying them mostly. Las Almas, a major place of interest within the Call of Duty campaign, is a Central American region with similar footprint to Al Mazrah. In multiplayer, the region will host similar split in core and battle maps. So that'll be part of the battle maps too. They're not just going to be the Warzone maps. Maybe this could be an indicator of a map to come if they call it a battle map and they integrate this into it. That could be something to note. One multiplayer map from elsewhere in the Modern Warfare 2 universe as well. Rest of the world. The last group of multiplayer locales is an assortment of core maps with no specific region, a mixture of places within the campaign, and completely outside of the entire main storyline. I love this, dude. I feel like this is always a later thought for games when they go through it. They usually just take all the campaign maps and then make those into some multiplayer maps, which is great. But sometimes it's nice to just have something even outside of that main map or the main campaign that is also a multiplayer map. It's just a multiplayer map designed to just be a multiplayer map, not necessarily designed to be even a campaign map, or even if it was designed first and after that, great. These maps round out to Modern Warfare 2's universe with a glimpse of what's happening outside of Al Mazrah and Las Almas. Prior to the full game release, expect this blog to bring you a full breakdown of all multiplayer-specific features, including maps, modes, launch playlist, tips for creating loadouts, and more. And keep in mind, I will be doing a breakdown of that breakdown as well and talking about it on the stream, so make sure you're following here as well, and I'll keep you guys updated. Spec Ops, redeployable co-op raids coming to Season 1 as well. An evolution of the Spec Ops mode from Modern Warfare 2019. This co-op experience will initially feature 3 missions at launch, all taking part on Al Mazrah, which is, again, that big map that is going to be the Warzone 2 map. Infiltrate this is bad situation. Infiltrate a town in the dead of night to uncover intel and evidence left behind from Al-Qatala. Before exfiltrating. Stealth is the key survival. Dude, I love a good stealth mission, especially it is fun. And even if it's just for a couple times, you play it even 1 or 2 times, if it is a fun experience, man, that's why I always there's some games that are more just specifically around just like stealth missions for the whole thing. But then, sometimes those games are even too long. Even if it's just like a quick, cool mission or two, I like that. I like that a lot. That's why I like the campaign so much, because you just got to have a fun campaign. I like it. It's consumable. It's fun. You can get people to play it. It's great. Vehicle escape. Multiple SAM turrets are preventing reinforcement from entering Al Mazrah. With the help of vehicle, navigate through the winding streets to suburbs to destroy them. Then speed over the exfil planes for escape. I think these are going to be pretty sick, man. I don't know. This could all be just like lame, but these, it makes me hopeful. Observatory defense. Love letter to fans of survival modes, like what, zombies? Defend the observatory from increased difficulty waves of enemies. Attempt to detonate bombs. Between each wave, operators can spend cash to get items such as kill streaks, self-res kits, and armor plates. So this is going to kind of be a zombie-esque mode, although the zombie community, I obviously, I'm play a little bit of zombies here and there, but I've got a lot of friends that are, that's their main form of content, or at least was in the past, was zombie content. And I know a lot of them didn't really like their last implementation of zombies in some of the more recent games. But this is going to be a classic. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it could be good. Maybe they took some of the lessons from the previous ones. We'll see. In Spec Ops, operators will have access to a backpack to store to store equipment and one of 3 kits that are similar to a set of perks, field upgrades, and kill streaks in multiplayer. So it's almost like your loadout, right? Like if you get to bring perks and everything, it's kind of like getting your loadout in Warzone. Assault is going to be focused on armor boxes. Medic focused on revives, stims. Engineer, snapshot pulse field upgrade to see nearby enemies. Kits are leveled up by earning stars through missions and mission-related challenges. See, I like this, though. Even if it's not going to be my main focus, they're even putting progression into the Spec Ops missions. Like, this could be something that is like an actual just people's main focus of plays. I like to do the Spec Ops missions. I like the challenge. I get to master it. Even if you guys remember, like, back in some of the old training sections for the Call of Duty games, and you would just get the introduction to the game, people would just speed run that to see how fast they can complete the course in like record time, which, this could be an element of this too. We highly recommend completing all 3 Spec Ops missions with 3 stars and have at least 1 kit leveled to rank 5 before raids. This is actually a really good little hidden gem here. If you do plan on doing raids when those come out, play through the Spec Ops missions, level your characters up, complete those at least so you're ready to go. A direct continuation of the campaign and introduction to Spec Ops later in Season 1. So you'll have a couple weeks, obviously, before Season 1 comes out on November 16th to get that going too. Good little tip for you. Progression then. The journey at launch. More intel prior to release. This is what I'm really curious about, though. Like, how is the progression going to be, especially for Warzone 2, is what I'm really interested in. At launch, there's more to Modern Warfare 2 than the traditional military ranks. I mean, I mean, especially for the sake of multiplayer, obviously they used to use the prestige system for progression. They kind of switched that out with how the game currently works, where every new season, like every season you can get to level 1,000, but then it resets. You still keep your like somewhat of prestige. You also get prestige tokens, which you can use in Cold War. That's how I got my secret skins, but we don't need to get into all that right now. At launch, there's more to this than just the military ranks, though. Prior to Season 1, which will feature the new Battle Pass system and seasonal prestige. So, yeah, I think they're going to keep this system, the seasonal prestige. I think maybe that's what it was called. Let's keep reading. Players will have access to the following progression systems. Military ranks from level 1 to 55. This is kind of your core experience of getting all of the weapons unlocked in the first place. Once you hit max level 55, you have all the weapons unlocked, at least in the base Modern Warfare game. I don't know how it all works right now because I already unlocked everything as the main progression went. They have catch-up mechanics and things that come out, catch up a little faster later on. But anyways, unlock all weapon platforms, multiplayer, loadout items, and Spec Ops kits. So that is going to keep being consistent. This is how you unlock everything at the base level. You got to get to level 55. Weapon platforms. Each weapon platform will feature camos, mastery challenges. Most will include progression trees with the ability to unlock platform-specific and universal attachments. This is how you're going to be unlocking the attachments within those weapons, the perks, the loadouts, the kill streaks, all the other stuff that you'll get from the main 1 to 55 progression. Okay, so they're keeping that similar as well. With some also allowing you to unlock receivers, which serve as additional functional weapons within the platform. So you can kind of get even more weapons unlocked by unlocking the SMG version of the M4. Now you got another weapon unlocked. That's what they're talking about with like the receivers. Spec Ops kits then. Each special operative kit can be leveled up to a maximum of rank 10. They recommend getting at least to rank 5 before raids come out by replaying missions and completing challenges to earn stars. Hopefully, the replayability of these is at least not tedious and super boring, although some people love all that, even like playing zombies missions over and over again. Base operator unlock challenges as well. Earn 18 operators through challenges related to the campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops. This is actually probably going to be more similar to how they did Vanguard's weapons or operators as well, I would assume. I thought it was a pretty big win where you get the operator, you can then level up the individual operator and everything along those lines. They're going to have daily challenges in multiplayer and Spec Ops. You can complete 3 challenges every day for XP rewards and unlock bonus challenges, which offer triple the XP of regular daily challenges. And additional career milestone challenges, such as winning matches on a specific game mode, will also give you bonuses. We've seen a lot of this in past Call of Duties where, you get a certain amount of double kills, you get a certain amount of stim kills or whatever it is, grenade kills, cook a grenade, blow yourself up with it, kill an enemy, you get a calling card and an XP boost and stuff like that. Expect a breakdown of all these progression systems in a dedicated blog, and we'll take a look at that one too. The best way to prepare for Warzone 2 is to watch my live streams every single weekday, 10 a.m. Pacific over on Facebook. Oh, they didn't say that there? Okay, I kind of, my bad. Dropping in for November 16th. Through Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer Spec Ops missions, familiarize yourself with the core of Call of Duty Warzone 2. It's going to be 25 operators at launch. Obviously, 18 can be unlocked during the Modern Warfare 2 preseason as well. Plus, get 2 milsim operators with 4 unique outfits unlocked by default. You get even more from completing the campaign and doing some of that as well. Weapons, over 30 weapon platforms at launch with 50 unique weapons, probably doing some of the subcategories for it. Get anywhere from 1 to 6 unique weapons per platform, right? So that's like, I think, changing the receivers out, and you can kind of customize it even deeper from there. Vault Edition owners gain access to the FJX Cinder Weapon Vault, which contains all receivers and attachments for one of the weapon platforms available at launch. Beta participants will have access to both their weapon blueprints if unlocked during the beta period, which we did get to max level and get those unlocked. Gameplay mechanics as well. Movement, firing, and other fundamental features are shared between all games within Modern Warfare 2's universe. So this is going to be something where it's going to feel the same playing both of the games, I think is their intention with this comment. That being, some of the strategies you would use in Warzone are different from multiplayer. But I think part of that as well is just the health pool, the time to kill. There's other elements outside of just even the movement mechanics, but at least those movement mechanics will be, the same across the universe, I guess, which is good. Ricochet anti-cheat as well. This has been one of the biggest things. Even in that last commentary I did, this has been one of the biggest comments, in terms of are FPS games doomed. This was one of the big things that people brought up was anti-cheat. I think I need to do even a separate video talking about some of that in general, but the system will be actively monitored and taking action against cheaters in Modern Warfare 2, learning how they operate and mitigate unfair play across both games. And they have been making efforts to improve the anti-cheat system, which I am grateful for. Hopefully, they keep on doing that into the new one. Following the events for the campaign, 2 private military contractors are founded as special force to hire capable of carrying out international tactics operations. These 2 factions are ready to deploy into multiplayer and Spec Ops at launch. All players will automatically have the default operators for the factions with 4 unique outfits. 18 more operators will be unlocked through the campaign, yada, yada. They already said all this. Once unlocked, all these operators will be available in Warzone 2 as well. They didn't mention anything about specifically leveling the characters up, I don't think. But here's the full roster of characters in the game. So these are going to be the people you're going to see people playing. This guy looks pretty sick to me. He's got a nice little mini bush, kind of. A little flattened down. Maybe used a straight iron for it. I don't know. Here are all the characters. You guys can read through any of that if you want to. Here are all the other characters for the other faction. This guy looks pretty badass. Kind of like this guy as well. Looking good. All right. Here are all the descriptions of those. If you guys care about any of it. Weapon platforms and the gunsmith. I think we know a lot of this already just from actually playing the game, but I think the biggest takeaways here is that there's going to be 33 unique weapons with 51 primary and secondary weapons to choose from for your loadouts as you continue to progress and get some of those receivers and such unlocked on it, that's a pretty big arsenal of options. And they have more options because, obviously, it is a more modern-day setup. Expect 10 assault rifles, 4 battle rifles, 7 SMGs, 6 LMGs, 4 shotguns. So, yeah, it's about a typical spread. 3 sniper rifles, 1 riot shield. Of course, we're bringing this back. Somebody was asking me if they were going to have riot shields. Of course they're going to have riot shields, man. 4 launchers, sidearms, melee, secondary weapon as well. 1 shared engine. Let's see. Along with weapons and operators, as core feature for movement boosts your ground swimming vehicles, firing, and even locations. Allows you to be comfortable with most what you know. Find the forthcoming free-to-play Battle Royale experience. So they're just saying, it's going to be the same across. We already read about the anti-cheat a little bit. Anything new here? New unified security system. Mitigate it. Additional launch intel outside of Modern Warfare 2. Get exclusive in-game rewards by watching any Twitch stream during the game launch week and celebrate launch for the task force. This sniper's pretty sick. Gonna have to go watch our buddies over on Twitch for a little bit, guys. Get yourself a dope-ass sniper rifle skin. 100%. Everything else looks kind of, whatevs. Task Force 141 hoodie. That's kind of cool. Pre-order your early access. Get rewards. Stay frosty. That's how they end it. There it is. All right. Huge, huge update today with information. Obviously, not anything crazy specific, but we at least got to read over it, know where they're coming from, catch a couple of the specifics in it. Overall, lots of new stuff for progression. It's a lot of what we would expect from Call of Duty multiplayer if you're already deep into this anyways, but I think a lot of people just got into Call of Duty more recently, especially even back in 2019. So this is a good overview to kind of catch you guys up with where we're at. And obviously, I'll keep you guys updated as it keeps going. Or if you got any other questions and stuff for me, stop by the stream. I'll catch up with the rest of the chat now. We'll keep it running. All right, thanks so much for watching. Go check out one of my gameplay videos, maybe my YOLO top plays. If you guys get any crazy plays in this, submit it to my World's Best Clip of the Week show, and we'll keep it running, all right? So for this one, StoneMountain 64, over and out.